We are just a couple weeks away from June 9th, the day the Cars series turns 20. And because of that, we're going to start seeing Cars anniversary merchandise, including new reveals and items we've known about for a while, start to make their way out on store shelves. All year long, I've been paying really close attention to the Disney parks and Disney stores since they always tend to do really interesting merchandise for film anniversaries. So far, for example, we've gotten the amazing Cars Wishable anniversary plushes. And just yesterday, new Cars anniversary pins released at the Disney parks. So today, I want to break them down, what they look like, my thoughts on them, and also go over some other recent Cars pin releases. Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of My Thoughts, the series where I give my thoughts on the latest Cars news. Let's get started. For those of you who don't know, small metal pins are one of the main forms of merchandise sold at the Disney parks and sometimes Disney store locations. Disney pins and pin trading have been huge since they were introduced 25 years ago now, and they release multiple new pins every single week. I love these pins. I always make sure to pick up some new ones whenever I take a trip to the Disney parks. I especially love collecting Cars pins. I've reviewed them here on the channel several times, and knowing just how many pins Disney makes and how they always like to do special sets, I just knew they would have to make some Cars anniversary ones. And I certainly wasn't disappointed when I saw these two new Cars anniversary pins that came out, again, just yesterday. I absolutely adore how these look. Images from this video come from both Walt Disney World News Today and pinandpop.com, which is a massive archive for all the Disney pins. And I also absolutely adore the packaging. Instead of the typical blank background that Disney pin packaging has, this has a very special Cars anniversary styling to it, with the sort of orange and red desert sunset, the Cars logo, and even the Cars 20 years logo up in the upper right hand corner. It doesn't have the speedometer on it, but it does use the exact same font and writing style. I just love that the Cars 20th anniversary is consistent across all merchandise. The pins themselves are super nice. As you can see, they are limited edition. These are both limited to 3,000 pieces each. I'm going to Disney World in July, so I really hope they still have some, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Up first, we have this pin of McQueen and Mater driving together. It has this rectangular shaping behind them, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the Cars 20 years logo with the speedometer, the full circular speedometer, like the one we saw on the Wishables packaging. I really love that they decided to incorporate this here using, again, that anniversary logo we've been seeing on all the merchandise. Really helps make this item even more special. I love the Cars anniversary logo so much. I think it would be super cool if they sold that as its own pin. Because I think my only complaint about these pins is that I wish the 20th logo was a little more prominent on them, but I can definitely respect making it a little more subtle here in the corner. I also just really respect the simplicity of this pin. It's just McQueen and Mater driving together. As far as Disney pins go, it's very detailed. The McQueen design here, like, I don't think I've ever seen a McQueen on a Disney pin that's this detailed. He has all of his secondary sponsors. You could also almost make them out, like you could almost read them. It is his Cars 1 design, which is great. You know, whenever you see merchandise like this, there's always a little concern that they'll accidentally use the wrong paint job, but here, he looks absolutely fantastic. Mater, a little more simplistic. They didn't put his Tow Mater writing on the side. Again, it's not common for Disney pins to have the level of detail that McQueen here has, so it does make a little sense for Mater, though, with how detailed McQueen is. Would have been nice if Mater matched. I love Willie's Butte in the background behind them. Again, I just love the simplicity here. I really appreciate how respectful the Cars anniversary merchandise feels. It's just so simple and nice. Just harkening back to the vibe, the feeling, the aesthetic of the first Cars movie. It's a simple story about this little town full of fun friends, and I think these pins capture that perfectly. The same is true for the other one here. That includes McQueen and Sally driving together. This seems to be based on a pretty famous promo photo for Cars. You could see the sort of tail fin pass background behind them. I love that. While the Mater and McQueen one is a more generic Cars pin, this one specifically references the drive scene. Again, one of the scenes from Cars that most perfectly encapsulates what the movie is all about. These both look absolutely beautiful. My biggest issue is the price. These pins are $25 each, which is a real Disney move for you. Plus, the fact that they're limited to 3,000 pieces is pretty annoying, especially because they are exclusively sold at a theme park and not everyone's going to be able to get over there to pick them up. But at the very least, there are a ton of other Cars Anniversary products you could pick up that will be releasing throughout the rest of the year, both at the Disney parks and not, of course. We haven't even seen the 20th anniversary diecasts hit shelves just yet, so there's going to be plenty of Cars Anniversary merchandise to choose from. In the grand scheme of things, these being limited edition is alright. But I did want to take a moment to highlight a few other recent Cars pin releases, because these actually aren't the only ones released for the Cars Anniversary. In fact, back in January, a blind box series celebrating Pixar film anniversaries this year included a McQueen pin to celebrate Cars. Other characters included Judy Hopps celebrating 10 years of Zootopia, and Ellen DeGeneres celebrating 10 years of Finding Ellen DeGeneres' career. Another wave of this series also included Mater. In fact, Mater was part of Wave A, and McQueen was part of Wave B. They both featured characters celebrating the same movies, but, two characters from each. Unless you're Ellen DeGeneres, in which case you have either adult Ellen DeGeneres or baby Ellen DeGeneres. Take your pick. These aren't limited edition pins, which is nice, though they are blind boxes, so, again, not gonna be easiest to get what you want here. But this year isn't only the 20th anniversary of Cars, it's also the 40th anniversary of Pixar. And back in January, they released some special pin sets commemorating that, featuring images themed to each of their movies, all framed by the Pixar Animation Studios entryway. Very famous entryway, of course. Unfortunately, these are also super limited edition. In fact, they were limited to only 700 each, but I still wanted to highlight them because they are absolutely beautiful. The second set includes pins for Cars and Cars 2, one featuring McQueen driving in front of Chick Hicks, the other with Mater, Finn, and Holly in London. I love that these are in chronological order, celebrating each Pixar film. The Cars 3 one is present in their third set, alongside other movies from around that time, and it features a much more generic image of McQueen and Cruz driving out of that Pixar entryway. I really like these, and definitely wish that I knew about them at the time, because they're super limited edition, and they're very, very cool. But don't worry, guys. There may be all these limited edition items coming out, and I definitely missed out on those Pixar ones, but another Pixar 40th anniversary pin is releasing very soon. On May 30th, this Pixar 40 Years pin will be coming out that features several iconic Pixar characters, including McQueen there in the lower right-hand corner. This is going to be another pretty limited one, limited to 800, but hey, if this is one that you're eyeing and you're a Disney pin collector, best of luck, because this one is not out yet. So, I guess the lesson today here is Disney pin collecting is an absolute nightmare, and all the cool anniversary stuff is super limited, even though they look really cool. It's crazy that at 3,000 each, the Cars pins are the least limited edition ones we've taken a look at today. Like I said, I'm going in July, and hopefully they have some still, because I really do love how those look. I do want to mention another Cars pin, though, because there's another one that just came out on May 12th. This is not a limited edition pin. It's also not an anniversary pin, but it's a really beautiful pin featuring a bunch of the main Cars characters with McQueen, Mater, Sally, Ramon, Flo, and Red. This is one of my favorites we've taken a look at today. It's just so nice to have a little pin that features so many of the Cars characters together on it. It retails for $20 and is just a regular Disney pin release, not limited or anything, and I just really like how it turned out. Turns out this is a new series of pins Disney's doing called Character Clusters. It looks like they're releasing one every couple of weeks, and Cars was the first in the set, which is super cool. It's very rare that Disney does something encapsulating other movies and Cars gets to be first. They did Cars on the 12th, and then this week they did Cinderella, so good on Cars for being first. But there you have it, guys. Those are just my thoughts on these new Cars pins, and I'd love to hear yours, so let me know down in the comments what you think about these new items, and stay tuned. I'm going to be continuing to cover new Cars Anniversary merchandise as it's announced and as it releases. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.